If it's a day called today, we're talking guitars and life.
Thinking of buying the AKLOT Stryde electric guitar kit that I found on the Zon? There are 4 things you need to know, Jack. Let's get into it. Number 1. This guitar can be assembled and played, Jack. Number 2, you will encounter some difficulty.
In the last video, we had quite an extensive conversation about the parts and kind of assessing everything that's in the kit. I mentioned that there is a postcard in that box from AKLOT. Now, it has instructions on here. There are at least 3 places on this postcard where it says, go to your My Orders page on Amazon and click the link that says contact the seller. Guys, there is no link on Amazon that says contact seller. It doesn't exist. In the unboxing video, I showed you that I had 2 dents on this guitar body. Okay, are they small and kind of minuscule? Sure. Can you see them from the 22nd row? Probably not, but they are there. I also mentioned that there are nicks on the side of this. If you look at that really closely, what does that look like to you? I'll tell you exactly what it looks like to me. It looks like the end of this, the trem bar. You may remember that in the box, the trem bar was not seated in that packaging. It was rolling around. The other thing that was in there just kind of flying around where all these baggies of parts were stapled together and they were just willy-nilly in that box. So you've got an unfinished guitar body with a nice top and you got parts flying around damaging the body. This is a DIY guitar kit, okay? Guys, there are no pre-drilled holes for your string trees, string retainers, you understand. So I mentioned in the last video, well, maybe it's in this nice book that they gave us. And they did give us a nice manual. And it is pretty thorough. And if you've never put a guitar together with this book and these parts, you could get that done. However, on page 9 of this book, it says, install the 2 string retainers into the pre-drilled pilot holes. Guys, there are no pre-drilled pilot holes in this headstock. I know how to drill those holes, so that's not a showstopper for me. And I can attempt to fix the dents on the guitar body, and the key word is always attempts at TED Talks Guitars and Life. Those of you who hang out with me know that. Oh, if it's your first time, welcome to the party, pal. If you're going to buy this, you're going to need to know how to drill these pilot holes for your barrel string trees. If you don't know how to do that, now is it a huge deal? Guys, look, at the end of the day, it's a piece of wood. But you're going to need a drill and you're going to need to know where to put those things. And if you've never done that before, just know, I just want you to be aware. I'm not trying to say don't buy this product. What I'm saying is be aware that you don't have the pre-drilled holes and you're going to need to figure out how to drill those holes in that headstock or go without string trees. Now, if you go without string trees, that may be a bad deal and affect your tuning and intonation because you're not going to get the proper break angle off that guitar now. Okay, now, the fretwork. So the reason that I don't feel like I can return this guitar is I've marked these frets up. Now I can put a file on them. I could get some cleaner and clean it off and pretend like it never happened, guys, but my integrity doesn't let me do those kinds of things. Here's the thing. I put a fret rocker. I straightened the neck. I put a fret rocker on it. There are 4 high frets on this guitar. Now, whenever I have a guitar that's got 4 frets, I do a complete fret leveling. Just know if you don't know how to work on guitars and you don't know how to level frets, that may be an issue if your neck is like mine. Guys, no two guitars are the same. Just because I had this issue does not mean that you will have the issue. Just like if I didn't have the issue, it wouldn't mean that you wouldn't either.
Number 3, those issues can be overcome.
Okay guys, so those are the caveats. I'm just going to assemble it without the string trees like you would have to if you didn't know how to do that. And I'm not going to level the frets, okay? Because if I level the frets, that gives a different playing experience than what you would experience had you purchased the guitar and put it together and played it. That's what I want. I want to emulate. You bought the guitar, you put it together following their book the best you could. How does it sound? How does it play? How does it feel? All right, guys?
If it's a day called today, come rain, sleet, or snow, we're talking guitars and a life jack. Get your popcorn and Diet Coke and come on to the show. Let's go. Ted Talks Guitars and Life. Ted Talks Guitars and Life. Ted Talks Guitars and Life. What's the point? It's Tuesday night. Ted's talking guitars and life. If it's a day called today, another guitar, some stories, and a video.
Okay guys, so we're going to talk about setup now. Before I do that though, the fast forward of the assembly was fast forward for two reasons. One is I'm trying to redeem some time for you, and two, I created a step-by-step assembly video, but it was an hour long. So guys, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a link in the description below to the long form of that. If any of you have never put together a kit guitar before, you can look at the link in the description below, and I'm going to talk step by step through everything that I did to assemble the guitar. Okay, but I just thought, man, a little bit of fast forward action to get us to this point might be good. The second thing that I'm going to do that's a little bit different in this video than other videos that I've done is I'm not actually going to do the setup work at this point in time. Because, guess what, Brant? I'm in the future, baby. Yeah, guys, I've already set the guitar up. What I thought might be more helpful than that, particularly for those who are thinking about getting a kit guitar and you don't know anything about setting a guitar up, I thought it might be helpful for us to just look at the tuning and setup section of the book. All right, so tuning and setup. So they talk about 4 different things in the book. Neck relief, string action, intonation, and pickup height are a couple of different things that I would do that are not on this list. Okay, so we're going to talk through it. So one, they talk about floating the trim. All right, now I did not set the guitar up to float the trim because this is my guitar and I'm not interested in a floating trim. I'm not interested in a trim of any kind. I just want you to be aware that in the book it talks you through setting up your guitar so that you can do a floating trim. The main thing with the trim system, it all has to do with where the claw is on the back of this guitar and how close that claw is to the body of the guitar. That will free up the trim if you go this way with it, and it will flatten the bridge the closer you get to the top of that guitar. Now, one thing we talked about in the super fast forward video that you didn't hear, because it was super fast forwarded, and you're welcome, look at this trim cover. Okay, guys, at AKLOT, this trim cover slit needs to be right here, man. it would be very difficult to try to string this guitar up, angling down the guitar string to go in that hole and come out the saddle side, okay? So basically, this is in the wrong place. It needs to be right here. So what I did, guys, in the super fast forward video, in which you didn't get to hear my witty banter, I talked a little bit about this trim cover plate. So I put the strings on and then I put the trim cover, because if the trim cover had been on, I would have got super frustrated trying to finagle my strings through there. Anyway, there you go. I thought that was information you'd like to have today, baby. There you go. So that's floating trim. Adjusting neck relief. They walk you through how to use the truss rod, those kinds of things. I thought that was pretty helpful. I mentioned in previous videos that that is a 4mm truss rod, and this truss rod, this neck did not fight me at all, guys. I was able to dial it right on in. Okay, so I just want those of you who are considering purchasing this kit guitar to know they're going to walk you through all of that. All right, tuning and setup, adjusting action height. If you were to look at my Music Nomad string action gauge, what you would find is a graph on here. And it ranges from low to high, and it has an asterisk for most common. So if you were to zoom in on this, you would see that the most common setting for an electric guitar is low to medium. So the low E would be 1.50. The high E, or the treble E, would be 1.25, okay? They're suggesting, as a general starting point, a low A string action, or the 6th string, is 2.4 millimeter. Guys, that's off the chart, man. That's way, way, way over here, okay? That is super high action for a lot of people, okay? Guys, pay your penny and take your pick. Set your guitar up however you want. I'm not mad at anybody. I got nothing to say to the folks at AKLOT, except that's pretty high. Particularly if you're a new guitar player, the action that high might be a little bit daunting. What I mean by that is, it makes the guitar harder to play. The high E string, or the treble E string, or the 1st string, 1.6 mil. So 1.6 mil, according to my Music Nomad string action gauge, is super high action for an electric guitar. Okay, so they're saying general starting point. So I'm not mad at anybody. You got to have a ballpark, and then from that ballpark, you work up or down, depending on your player preference and whatever you can get away with on the guitar. I just thought that was interesting. What I did on the setup of this guitar, I have 0.06, i.e. 1.50 for the treble, and I have 0.08, i.e. somewhere around 2 mil on the bass side. That's just my player preference. And then the book walks you through how to lower your saddles or make your saddles higher using the saddle set screws. Now, what you could tell if you were to look at this with me is that those saddles are all but pointing down into the dirt. When I get done finishing the guitar, I'm going to set the guitar up for the final time, and I don't want my saddles slanted down like that. Ideally, your saddles will be horizontal, and what this does, if you've got your saddles that low, then your saddle, what I would call a set screw, is sticking up. But it's just uncomfortable, particularly if you like to play down here a little bit, you know, around the middle, over the middle, pick up and rest your hand, kind of right here. When you palm mute, you'll be hitting those saddles, and it'll be an uncomfortable playing experience. So if you wanted a way around that is to get you some shorter set screws from the Zon. Again, 1.5. Guys, I'll do my best to put a link in the description below to anything that I mention. And if you're looking for something and you can't find it, just reach out to me. I'll be glad to help you find it. Okay, and then 3.4 in the book is adjusting string length and intonation. And I'm happy to report that this guitar is completely intonated. I didn't have any trouble at all by way of intonation. Now, to intonate a guitar, so if I play my open E string and it's in tune, and then I play the 12th fret and it's sharp, then I need to move that saddle toward the bridge, okay? If I play my open E note and then I play the 12th fret and the 12th fret note is flat, I need to push that saddle toward the nut. Righty tighty goes toward the saddle, lefty loosey will push it toward the nut, if that makes any sense at all. They talk about it in terms of clockwise and counterclockwise and all that. I think the way I just described it might be helpful, but anyway, guys, just trying to help. So the last thing they talk about in the book is pickup height. Okay, so they give you measurements here, and their suggestion is that a good baseline for your pickup height is 2.4 mil, okay, or 0.094 from the pole pieces. So when you do that, you're measuring from the pole piece of the magnet to the string, okay? So you can do that with something like the Music Nomad string action gauge has a pickup height here, okay, in millimeter, in inches as well. And you can just kind of throw that on there and kind of see. So what I do to set my pickup height to get me in the ballpark, I use a Solo Music pickup height gauge. So the way this works is I fret the last fret, and then the thin side should be able to go right between that string and the pole piece. Same thing on the bass side, except I flip it over because this is thicker. And I should just be able to get that in there. And that helps in a couple of different ways. One, if your pickups are too high to those strings, your strings are going to touch them. You're going to get all kind of weird noises. Two, if your pickups are too high, it will pull your guitar out of tune. All right, so for me, oh, by the way, the Solo Music gauge is about 2.2 mil on the thin side and 3.0 on the thick side. Okay, so this idea of 2.4 for the 6th string, I think that's a little bit too low, but I don't know, guys, put it in the comments what you think. And then it just basically tells you how to adjust your pickup. So I think the 4 things they point out, I think for a beginner are perfectly fine. The thing that's not on this is nut slot and nut height, okay, or nut gap as it were. Okay, so if you were to take your guitar neck, there are gauges you can buy that will kind of feeler gauges from Music Nomad and other outlets where you can just put a gauge under there and it would tell you that that string is too high. Or you can kind of eyeball it. So if I fret the 3rd fret, and then with my index finger, I fret the 1st fret, you see all that real estate that I have right there? So you want some gap there, but you don't want all of that gap, particularly if you're just learning to play guitar. It just means that you're going to have to press down on the strings harder than you would have to if it were lower. So as a part of their setup in the book, they don't cover that. But that is something that I would do. All right. So in the guitar community, there's a lot of debate and controversy about all the measurements that we've talked about. Everything about guitar playing, and I would say including the setup, everything is player preference. So I applaud AKLOT that they said things like, as a starting point, look at this measurement. Because as you grow in your guitar playing, you're going to develop your own way of setup. So with that in mind, my setup approach has elements of what they've put in the book, but it's just a little bit different, and I'll walk you through it. So when I set a guitar up, I follow train. Train stands for tune, relief, action, intonation, and nut. Okay? So they walked you through tuning, for sure. They walked you through relief, they walked you through action, and they walked you through intonation. They did not talk about, again, the need to file that guitar nut.
Number 4, customer service for the win, baby. Well, all right, guys, here we are, man. We have one completed AKLOT Stryde electric guitar, my friends. And I think the guitar plays pretty good. I think it sounds pretty good. There's lots of things that I'm going to do to it to make it my own jig. That'll be future videos. I do want to say a word about customer service and AKLOT. I mentioned this postcard in the unboxing and previously in the video. And although there is no contact seller button on the Amazon My Order page. There is a button out there that says leave seller feedback or something like that. And so I completed that. I also did a review of the guitar. It was a 3-minute kind of ranty thing. I know, guys, it's me. It's what I do. I made a video for it, you know, that I did, Jake. The other thing I did is I found a link to AKLOT.com. And on AKLOT.com, they have a customer service email. They have a link to their Facebook page, and they had a contact us form. I completed that form. I said, hey, I've made a 3-minute video. It's unlisted on my channel. You can get it through this link right here. So this morning I got an email from a person named Dylan at AKLOT Customer Service. Shout out, Dylan. And just want to share with you guys what Dylan had to say about my issues and moving toward resolution. Dear Ted, thank you for your detailed feedback. I sincerely apologize for the issues you've encountered. He addresses 4 things. Number 1, regarding the scratches in your video, we deeply regret the situation. We do conduct collision tests before production, and cases like yours are highly unlikely to occur. However, based on your feedback, we've already improved our packaging by using stronger boxes to prevent such damage. We've also revised our packing methods to secure the accessories and avoid them from moving around. Number 2, as for the pre-drilled holes, we sincerely apologize for the discrepancy with the manual. Our product does not come with pre-drilled holes, but our digital manual does include specific instructions on where to drill for the string retainers. If you'd like, we can send you the digital version of the manual for your reference. Number 3, the dents on the guitar body are most likely caused by the loose accessories pressing against the body during shipping. We recommend using sandpaper to gently smooth out those dents. If you need further guidance on this, we are happy to assist. Number 4, regarding the customer service issue, we do read every message and make sure to address each customer's concerns. We are truly sorry that you had such a frustrating experience. To resolve this, we are happy to offer a full refund. Could you kindly provide your order number? We will process the refund as soon as we receive it. Once again, we deeply apologize for the inconvenience and are committed to making things right. Best regards, Dylan Hayes, AKLOT Customer Service Team. Guys, customer service for the win. So I think it's a wonderful thing that a company can hear the kind of feedback that I gave them, because you can imagine the video, guys. It was just, a little ranty. We've all met. Well, hey, if we haven't met, good to see you, Jake. Anyway, I think it's interesting that he's already talked about the idea that they want to do better with their packaging and stronger. I don't know that a stronger box would have prevented the issue that I had, but I applaud at least the fact that they're going to consider how they might do things better. The pre-drilled hole thing. So what I'm going to do, guys, when Dylan sends me the manual, I'm going to use it and we're going to drill those holes together. So in the next video, I'm going to tackle the neck. So I've got some fret work to do, some leveling, some crowning, some polishing. I've got 4 high frets, as I've mentioned. We will drill the holes together in that video, and I will utilize the instructions that they give me, although I know how to drill those holes. Well, kind of, sort of. In reference to the sandpaper and the dents, guys, the thing about that is that this is a veneer. This is a very thin maple top on top of this body. So those are too deep for me to sand those down on the top. So I'm going to do what BBM and Sparky have encouraged me to do. I'm going to put a damp towel there and a hot iron on there. We're going to try to steam those dents out of that maple top. Will it work? I don't know, guys. I never know what's going to work around here. In reference to the dents on the side of the body, I am going to be sanding the entire guitar body when we get to finishing. And we'll either sand those down. I care less about the sides than I do the top. I mean, if I'm going to stain the top, any kind of dent would be accentuated by the stain. So I will be sanding that down on the sides, and we'll see how that goes. But I don't think sandpaper would get those dents off of the top. I don't know, put it in the comments, tell me what you think. And the fourth thing, man, I wasn't even asking for a full refund. I wanted them to know about the discrepancies of the book. By the way, there's also some discrepancies in the description, which I let Dylan know about as well. Things like in one description, this is basswood, and the other description, this is poplar. In one description, these are stainless steel, and another, they're nickel or copper. It's just kind of the Wild West out there on the Amazon description. So I let Dylan know about that as well. I thought a partial refund would be good given my experience with the dents, but a full refund, man, I'm just blown away by that. So guys, from here, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our neck work. We're going to take the manual that Dylan sends, and we're going to drill those holes together in the next video of this project regarding the neck. So we'll be doing a complete fret leveling, we'll be crowning, we'll be polishing those frets, we'll be cleaning and conditioning the fingerboard. Then I'm going to take some 2500 or 3000 grit sandpaper to the back of this neck. I'm going to cover it with some True Oil, and then I'm going to put Howard Feed and Wax on top of that for that silky smoothness, baby. Yes, I am, my friends. Yes, I am. And then we're going to tackle the body. We'll try to get the dents out of the top. We'll address the dents on the side. We're going to finish it. I'm thinking a nice sunburst in kind of light chocolate brown in the middle and dark chocolate around the edges, baby. I don't know if I could do that or not, guys, but it ought to be a good ride. Well, guys, I can't thank y'all enough for hanging out with me today and talking about guitars and life. Special shout out to the Jacks, our channel members, for all your love, support, encouragement, and constant edification. Man, oh man, you guys are the best. Oh, I almost forgot. Here's some more tones.
Well, as always, wherever you are in your guitar journey, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Hey, rock on with your bad selves, everybody. Catch you down the road.